How to tell if your ex wants you back. Hi guys, my name is Christine Loveridge and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach. And today I'm discussing how to tell if your ex wants you back. So before we get into this video, please do leave a like on this video and please do subscribe, as that really does help my channel out. Thank you very, very much. Okay, so how can you tell if your ex wants you back? So the first point that I want to get into is, if your ex wants you back, they will probably reach out to you. They will send you a message or they might phone you up. Basically any kind of contact like that where they are directly messaging you. Now the thing is, they might not necessarily say that they miss you and they want you back. In fact, it's very unlikely that they will be that upfront about it. So what they might just say to you, they might just say something simple like, hey, how are you? Or they might bring up some kind of random thing about your past relationship. So it might be something like, oh, do you remember when we did this? Or do you still have that photo from when this happened? You know, something like that. However, sometimes your ex will contact you, but it won't be for the reasons that you might hope. So if just because they message you, the context of the message really, really, really matters. So if they say something to you like, I want my stuff, can I come and collect it? That doesn't count, okay? That doesn't count of them missing you. Also, if they seem kind of mean in the way that they message you, so they might say something like, do you still have this? Because I want it, or something like that. If they're very abrupt and just they're not being very nice, basically, then obviously that's a sign that they don't want you back and they're having to talk to you for some other kind of reason. So perhaps you have kids together, or perhaps there's some money tied up somewhere that needs to be arranged, or perhaps you still do have some of their stuff, or they still have some of your stuff. So the context of the way of what they're talking about in their message really is important. However, if they are just saying something like, hey, how are you? And they're asking about you and how you're doing, or if they're bringing up something random like, oh, do you remember when we did this? You know, something like that. Or I saw this the other day and it reminded me of when we did this together, something like that, then that's more of an indication that they are missing you. And basically, if they send you a random message like this, what they are wanting is they are hoping that you will kind of read between the lines and start talking to them again, or facilitate meeting up with them. Also, another sign that your ex is missing you is they may actually just come out to you and apologize. So they may say something to you, oh, I'm really sorry about how this happened, how this ended. So again, they'll message you out of the blue asking you this. And they might say, I'm really sorry about my behavior. I'm really sorry that I did this or that I did that. And then you can say to them something like, well, that's fine. I accept the apology. I know I messed up on the odd occasion too. You're not completely at fault for this. So would you like to hang out and have a catch up one day, and then see if they agree to that, and then arrange to meet up with them, if you also want them back, of course. Because if your ex didn't care about you, they either wouldn't message you, or they would only message you if it was for a really important reason. Like, again, if money is tied up somewhere, or it's something to do with the kids, or they want something back. So it could be some of their clothes, or they might want to drop off some of your things. So don't take those messages, any kind of contact like that, as if they want you, because it's not true. They'll only contact you if they're contacting you for a good reason, like something like that. Then that's a sign that they don't want you back and they're basically having to talk to you. However, if they're messaging you randomly, just saying things like, hey, how are you? And they're not bringing up anything else that is important, like they need to pick up stuff from you and stuff like that. Because sometimes people just start off a conversation saying, hey, how are you? And then they go on to say, can I come and collect this? You know, because they just being polite. Some people just say that to begin with. However, if it's just, hey, how are you? And they're wanting to know about you, they're getting personal, they want to know what's going on, they want to know how you feel, those kinds of things, then that's more of an indication that they miss you and they want you back. So some other little things that they probably still miss you is if they, kind of bring up that if you still have them on social media, let's say, if they post things about you, if you can tell that these things are about you, so they might post really sad quotes or something like that. Or perhaps you can tell that some of his or her friends are like looking at your stories, because sometimes I've known people to do this, right? They kind of go into their friend's account and look at your stuff so they don't look at your stuff, if that makes sense. So you'll get the receipt that their friend has looked at your story, but really it was them looking through that with their friend's phone. So sometimes that happens. Don't read too much into it though, because that kind of does dive into reading into things too much, because it could actually just be her friend or his friend looking at your stuff, and maybe they're relaying it back to your ex, but don't take it too much to heart, basically. Your ex may even ask to meet up with you, so that's obviously a really strong sign that they want you back. But again, the context of it really matters. If they are asking to meet up for a catch-up, that's more of a sign that they miss you, whereas if they ask to meet up so you can swap over stuff, that's not an indication that they miss you. That's an indication that they want to finalize things, okay? So anything where they're kind of trying to finalize things isn't them missing you. Any kind of contact where they're trying to see how you are, or they want to just have a simple catch up with you, that's more of an indication that they miss you. So what's really important here is you need to decide whether or not you do actually want them back or not, because this person might not be right for you. So you really do need to think about it if they are displaying these signs that they miss you, whether or not this is a good idea to try and actually get back with them. And you kind of have to be very blunt about the situation to yourself. You really need to weigh up the pros and the cons before you decide to go back to your ex. I think sometimes people can have quite a bit of nostalgia towards their exes, especially because sometimes that you were together, it was probably really good and really fun, but then there's those other times that were really bad and really miserable. So you need to kind of look at the situation. Now, if this person is right for you, so let's say they have the same values as you, they have the same likes and dislikes, they have the same they want the same things in life, then obviously this is probably a good person to go back to, especially if the breakup wasn't like a big thing. Like, let's say they didn't do anything like cheat on you, or you didn't cheat on them. There was no like big argument that was really, shall we say, toxic, and perhaps what happened was just a misunderstanding of some sorts, or perhaps you were spending too much time together and you needed a break from each other, something along those lines. But if this person is good for you and you know that they're good for you, you know that they're a good person, that they haven't done anything to hurt you, that you know that if they have hurt you, they've probably changed their ways, but it's hard to know those kinds of things, and don't bank on those things because most people aren't willing to change. But if this person is a good person, they're not mean to you, they haven't done anything horrible to you, and vice versa, then obviously it's a good, probably person to go back to. However, do keep in mind that your ex is an ex for a reason. Please do keep in consideration the reason why you two broke up, because you don't have to go back to your ex. Don't get into the idea that there's lack, that there's scarcity, that this is the only one for you, because I can guarantee it, there are plenty of people out there that could be a good match for you. People who are better looking than your ex, people that have a better personality from your ex. Those people do exist, and you can date those people. They are available to you. There are some great single people out there. So don't go back for the wrong reasons, as in like, oh, I'm never going to find anyone else, or I'm never going to find anyone as good looking as them, or I'm never going to find anyone that's going to treat me better than them, because that's simply not the case. There is always someone better out there for you. And of course, that doesn't mean that you should always be looking for someone better when you're in a relationship, because I do think sticking with one person and working it out and having a long committed relationship is better, and than always having this idea of the grass is greener on the other side. Even if it's true, even if there is always better opportunities out there for you, because I think it's very good and very good for people to have one long committed relationship where you make things work. Because I think sometimes people are too flippant about and too blasé about how they can just jump from one relationship to another. And they're kind of always looking for the next best relationship. There are some people out there that are like that, and I personally don't think that's very, very healthy. I think it's better for you to actually find someone who you're really attracted to, someone who likes the same things as you do, has the same values, wants the same things in life, and then that's a good match for you. You know, someone who you're really attracted to and is good for you. You know, you don't have to always be looking for the next best one. I think that kind of mentality is really, really toxic and bad for you in the long run, because you never have roots and you never settle down. And I think it's really important for human beings in general to have a routine, to have roots, to have a home, and that one person who they can have that special lifelong commitment with. So keep that in mind, okay? And this is why it's really important that you actually really do consider whether or not this is someone that you can go the distance with. So anyway, I hope that's made sense to you. If you would like to get in touch with me personally and you would like coaching with me, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com/shop. There's some coaching options there for you. If you would like a free PDF download, that's also on that shop page. And it's a dating manual where I go into dating techniques and also relationships. However, it is in the beta stages, so if you read it and you do have some critiques or some things that you want me to put in there, some things that you think I may have missed out, then please do let me know so it can help as many people as possible. If you have any tips yourself, any stories, then please do leave them in the comment section so we can help each other out. And I shall talk to you guys again very soon. Goodbye, guys.